It's the Ida Girl, and I'm back with another reaction video for you today. And today I'm reacting to the Great British Pub Culture Explained. And I'm getting this one from Jimmy the Giant. The link will be in the description below. Please go over and show him some love. All right. We're going to get right into this one. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for being here. To all my regulars, day one, sweetie pies, sweetie poos. Come on in, rock back with a smile on your face and enjoy. Guys, if you do enjoy this content, please go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up. Not only that, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. All right, let's get into this video. Here we go right about now.
One of the great things about England is pubs.
My whole love of journalism and debating came from just observing people in the pub.
The Great British Pub has been the backdrop for debate, conflict, and even love. A place open for all, from geezers to hipsters to ladies' nights out.
We all mix together as one, and that's how it should be.
It is the backbone of British culture.
Go to the Winchester, have a nice cold pint, and wait for all this to blow over.
So today we're going to explore this fascinating culture. We're going to go through its history, its controversies, and whether it's going to survive in the future. This is the story of the Great British Pub.
British have a famous reserve when it comes to being sociable. And everything about the pub is micro-engineered to break down those social barriers and to enable people to talk to each other.
Pub is short for public house, with its origins dating as far back as 43 AD to 410 AD, and it came from the Romans as they occupied Britain. However, pubs as we know them today would really become popular in the Victorian era. They were communal meeting points that typically the working class could go to and enjoy themselves. Pubs fall into a few different categories, and they have changed a lot over the years, but let's start with three basic ones.
Traditional pub.
The traditional pub. These are often housed in like historic British buildings. Typically, there'll be laws and regulations over how you can change the building's exterior as a way to preserve the culture. So this means there's very low ceilings and very low doorways because apparently people were smaller back then. A lot of the interior is made out of wood. There's wooden beams everywhere. There's usually an open fireplace, and it's designed to feel like a nice, homely, cozy living room. When it comes to drinks, they'll serve a range of beers, ales, ciders, and they might even offer traditional pub food, which we would call pub grub. Now let's move on to the next pub, and that is the country pub.
In every country.
So I didn't know what pub meant. So I didn't know that it's public houses. That's pretty cool. And then, listen, I love what she said at the beginning. She said, it's a place for all of us to come together. That's it. And when he said it breaks down the social barrier where people can come together and and not be afraid to, talk with each other, get along, and have some fun. I like that idea.
Country village needs a country pub.
Now, as the name suggests, a country pub is far out in the sticks, way away from what they would refer to as city folk. Why this is different from a traditional pub is that traditional pubs can exist in very urban areas. The atmosphere of a traditional pub relies on its surrounding area. It might be a bit more fun, a bit more lively, and there might be, God forbid, young people in there. Whereas the country pub is quite the opposite. The country pub is more quiet, more cozy, more chill. It caters to the locals who will look at outsiders with a little bit of scorn. The locals have typically lived in that town for generations and generations.
And then we got their children's children and their grandchildren, and they still recognise and still know you. Good night, Miss Kate. Good night, Sam. Good night, John. Good night, Ted.
And then lastly, we can throw in brewery taps. A brewery.
I like the country pubs. It's the all set of people. Just relax, laid back. Like they said, everybody know everybody. And it doesn't matter what generation come in. They still know everybody. And not only that, one thing I like what they said is that they're saying like, good, it's a sense of solidarity, that sense of respect, Good night, Jane. Good night, Joe. Good night, Peter. Good night. You know what? Everybody know everybody. They said, okay, they don't really fancy to the outsiders, but I like it. And I could handle that. It sounds pretty cool.
Brewery tap is a pub that's attached to a brewery. They brew a beer on site and they sell it there. And these pubs tend to look a bit more industrial and are more used as a marketing tool for that beer. But for now, let's get a feel of what it's like to step foot into a traditional pub.
Okay.
Well, here we go. All right, so picture this. It's a Wednesday, you finish work, it was a bit stressful, and so what do? You, of course, venture down to the pub. Which pub will it be today? Will it be the famous Cock, the Red Lion, the Horse's Mouth? And so you approach the front door of the pub and you push open the door.
Wait, guys. I gotta hear this name again. All right? Just give me a second, because it said the famous what? The famous Cock. All right. I'm sorry.
Which pub will it be today? Will it be the famous Cock, the Red Lion, the Horse's Mouth? And so you approach the front door of the pub and you push open the door.
What a name. The famous Cock. I'm done. I'm telling you guys, you're good for your names. Jesus. I don't know why that one can't be. Leave me alone, guys. Leave me alone.
To be greeted by another door for some reason. There's always these two doors. Instantly you hear Mickey and the boys sat in their usual spot, shouting about some political thing that they read in the Sun. Listen here, boys, you know what I'd do if I was in charge, if I was Prime Minister? Yeah, what's that there, Mickey? I'd get a whole lot of them, take them outside, and I'd shoot them. Yeah, that's about right, Mickey. In the corner of Mickey's eye, he sees you as you walk in. The whole table's attention turns. Here comes trouble. You exchange niceties for a couple of seconds, and then Mickey, he'll escort you to the bar to go get a drink. These particular gentlemen are who you would refer to as the geezers.
Okay.
You trying to wind me up? I ain't trying to wind anyone up. I'm fucking serious.
These are working class lads. They could be anywhere from the age of like 25 to 55, really. Might be a plumber, a sparky, a carpet fitter, you know, proper man's jobs. They're not going to be in the HR department working in diversity and inclusion. Now, what's very interesting about the geezer is that the geezer exists within all British men. No matter how middle class you are, whether you shop at M&S or Waitrose, the infectious charisma and energy of the geezer will undoubtedly rub off on you at some point in the night.
Who's that? Well, this is... What's your name?
Steve.
Steve. He'll be joining us. Why?
Usually around sort of beer 6, maybe 7. You'll leave your table, you head to the toilet, you might wobble there because you're getting a little bit intoxicated. And as you go for a piss, the door will bang wide open. Mickey walks right in, stands next to you, and he turns to you and he says, "You watched the game last night, mate?" To which you'll panic because last night you're at yoga and you need to now come up with a cover story. And so you will reply, "Nah, not me, mate. Missus was having none of it. Shit, that is, mate." But this brings us on to our next pub goer, middle class Michael.
What a nice pub. Yes, it's a lovely pub.
Now, middle class Michael, he probably works in IT or marketing or something like that, an office job. He's come from work, so he's wearing his nice smart shirt.
So you have the geezer, all right? That are the one of the working class, like the plumber, like the construction worker, all right? Not the office chops. So you have those, and they laid back, they come in, the regulars inside, they see it, and they have fun, they have a drink, they're loud, all right? Then you have the little middle class, the little IT tech, the ones that cannot hold their liquor. Now you tell me, they talk soft and nice in the beginning. Then after they start talking soft and nice after their 5th beer, they're like, okay, they're getting hot. Boosted with confidence. And then they can't hold no more. They go up to the bathroom and throw them. Now we're moving on to the old boys. Let's hear about the old boys.
Next up, you have the old boys,
Okay.
aka the locals.
Oh.
These are men from the age of 60 to about really any day prior to their death. They're drinking proper drinks. You know, they're drinking stout, Guinness. They all, of course, dress like farmers. They love Jeremy Clarkson. They hate young people. These are the main demographic of any good country pub.
And we're here in Clarny because we've been invited by a very special character. I hear he's a local legend. Sam, how are you? Good, my dear.
But then you get a few little special guests, such as tourists who are typically American. They're wearing some bright t-shirt. They've got a bum bag to keep all their things in. And they're saying something about how authentic this place is. It's so quaint. It's so British. And then you get families. Oh, I forgot to say you have the alcoholic who sat in a corner murmuring to himself. It's Pretty sad sight. But then finally you have one other group who sometimes show their face in a pub, and that is women.
So much fun.
And what's interesting about the pub is that pre-World War II, to see a woman in a pub was a very rare sight. It was frowned upon. It was a cultural taboo.
Do you object to me being served alongside you here, sir?
I think for myself that the place for women is the saloon bar or the lounge.
It was kind of like that so that husbands and wives could be away from each other, so that men...
One thing I like about British is the blatant honesty. Look, man, she asked the question, he received an answer. I didn't realize that the women were not allowed to be with the men. But I get what they mean. Like, you know what? They need to be by themselves. We need a breather. You understand me? But then I like the old boys, the old chaps. It's the older man from 60s going, until they pass on. They are more laid back. They drink the Guinness. I love me some Guinness, but they're the quintessential pub goer, like the long time man. They will know exactly what they want, have the certain atmosphere. But then they say, here come you the tourists. And on the big bright color shirt. They always stick out like a sore thumb. Sticking out like a sore thumb. They gotta do. But geez, he is explaining this so well.
Men could do men things, say naughty words. But nowadays you get what is called a ladies' night. Now this is the one night that ladies have decided they're going to go to the pub. They've spent 3 months over WhatsApp, organising, arguing, falling out over this night. It's a big night for them. It could be a hen do, a birthday. And they will arrive at the pub dressed in their skin-tight dresses, drinking gin and tonic, holding their purse. They're loud, they're passionate, they're dramatic. You'll have one in the corner crying her eyes out. She's staring at her phone, texting away furiously. Another being kicked out by the bouncers as she vomits over herself. It's quite a sight to see, an image that I'm sure the suffragettes never imagined would happen.
Why, Jimmy, why? Why you gotta do the women like that? That is funny. What you say? One in the corner texting, she mad, something going on in the back. The other one, the bouncer throw her out because she drink the one. Jesus. They said they spent months on WhatsApp to plan this one night. Why the woman them dramatic boy? No, that is funny. Woo! That is funny.
And so what I'm hoping that you understand is that the pub is really a place for everyone.
You with all your mates and
that.
you're all having a laugh and you're all doing everything. It seems to be like the catalyst to make a good time.
However, over the years, things have changed a lot.
Now, I'm worried about the closure of pubs.
More than 150 pubs have closed their doors for good in England and Wales.
They face a cost of living crisis head on.
Now, look, it's never been easy for pubs when it comes to laws. It's been like this tug of war between the government and pubs for a very long time. And that is for the simple fact that alcohol is a bit troublesome. In 1552, the Ale House Act was passed, where pubs would be required a license from a local authority in order to be able to sell beer. In 1830, the Beer House Act came along. New laws would pop up, like a legal drinking age. Also, opening hours were pretty tight. But by 1960s, the laws were relaxed somewhat. So from here to about the 2000s, things were flourishing. Having a simple bevy with the boys had evolved. Now you could walk into a pub and there might be things like pool tables, dartboards.
And it's a 5-point round.
You go into any good pub and there will be locals who are insane at pool and darts. They'll come in with their own cases, their own sticks, their own table if they could. And if they get good enough, they can enter professional leagues. They can become professional athletes. I mean, take Phil Taylor, for instance, a professional darts player. Look at him. He is your typical pub goer. But look, if darts and pool isn't what you're into, there's something for everyone. You might be more into board games. So you grab a board game in this box that looked like it survived World War II, or you could attend a quiz night.
The town of Leicester is the birthplace of which mass murderer?
But really, it would be in 2007.
I love that though. I love the fact, like they said, it's a place for everybody. It doesn't matter what you can think of. Just scrabble up. I'm like, the way that you showed it is like the button up, the relax, the stock ups, the out there, It's just amazing that everybody can come together and have fun. And then I noticed a little kid walking around in the pub while men are there drinking, throwing darts, and I'm like, that's a kid. I thought that kid is 10 years old. That to me is pretty cool.
Where things would take a massive turn, where pub culture as we knew it would be gone forever.
A countrywide smoking ban went into effect in the UK on Sunday.
The smoking ban. When smoking ciggies were banned from pubs, this was a major issue in Britain.
Make a place for the smokers and a place for the non-smokers that's segregated off. Not herders out here like bloody prostitutes standing on this corner, which is what you feel like when you're standing here with a cigarette.
I'm not joking, this was as big of a deal as Brexit, Trump, trans athletes. And this is where the government had proposed that we were no longer allowed to smoke cigarettes inside of a pub. And there was uproar from landlords to pub goers, where the classic atmosphere of a pub, you know, where you open the door and a plume full of smoke would come out of the dragon's lair, would now be replaced with breathable air. And we couldn't have that. And it's true, it was part of the atmosphere, but ultimately the ban passed and you had to go outside and smoke cigarettes. From this,
I'm on board with her with that. Make a side for smokers and non-smokers. I'm 100% because that's the atmosphere that you're trying to get into. Don't come for me, guys. I know they're talking about smoking and secondhand smoke does this and that. You pick your pick. You want to go, you go. If you don't want to go somewhere where smoking is concerned, you go plop your butt down somewhere else. So I am on board with her. Like, why send me outside to go stand on the street like a little hooker? I'm on board with her. That don't make no sense. Man, I can't believe it. And I'm over the moon to get there, you know, guys, to have that pub experience because I can't wait. But he's telling me that, look, it's not the same like it used to be. Man.
Point on, traditional pub culture only really got worse and worse. With the rise of social media and home media, people didn't really need to leave the house to get entertainment. On top of this, the younger generation were, God forbid, drinking less. And there's been a constant decline in pubs throughout England since 2000.
What?
Yes, boys, how you doing? Are you right? Yeah.
On top of this, alcohol is easier and cheaper to get a hold of from supermarkets. We, as society, have a greater variety of things to do. You don't just have to sit in a pub. You could go get a coffee. You could go for a meal. And so as pubs become less popular and the cost of living goes up, there has been a major decline in pub culture across Britain. But look, it's not all bad news. There is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Please
and
tell
that
me.
light is Wetherspoons.
Today I want to talk about one of the great British institutions.
What?
Wetherspoons.
Now, Wetherspoons isn't a traditional pub. It's kind of this pub-bar hybrid. It's like a super chain that exists all across Britain, where it takes our favourite elements of traditional pubs, the way they look, the way they feel, combine that with incredibly cheap beer and food, and it attracts a more wider demographic of young people and older people. And I think at this point, it's pretty safe to say that Wetherspoons, or Spoons as we abbreviate it to, has kind of become a British institution in and of itself. It's the start of every good night out. It's the place we love to hate, but inside we all have a soft spot for it. It's still got all of the fights, all of the political debates. The owner, Tim Martin, literally did a Brexit tour around Spoons. And it's even got love. Personally, I think as a society, tradition is really important. It's what makes culture so unique and fascinating. It makes people want to come and experience that. So next time you're at your local boozer, grab yourself a pint, take a sip and look around for a second and appreciate everything that's gone in to the Great British Pub. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel.
I love it. I love it. So it is not gone for good. And he said it's like a hybrid, but you know, it's still, that tradition is still there, but it's this one now you can come in, have a pint, have some cheap food, cheap beer, cheap food, relax. It has the same atmosphere. People getting rowdy. People, you know, little bantering and all. But it's not the same. Like, I'm wondering if it's with all those laws and setback, does the countryside pubs, are they still open? Like, they still have that atmosphere, even with the smoking ban and all of that. Wonder if they still have that atmosphere, because I'm more for the countryside. You know what I mean? Like, to get that homey feeling. I know you guys are like, I just want that experience. I want to get loud. I want to have a pint. I want to hear the local talk and, just get down and just look around and have that feel for it. You know what I mean? Ooh, that was a very interesting video. Don't forget to go in the comment section. Tell me what you'd like me to react to next. You girl got to. Don't forget to give this one a big thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts on this one. Is Jimmy right or not? But there's a lot of pubs that closed within 2023. I know with what happened and then all these laws, it's just sad to see that the traditional pub that you grew up with, it just, yeah. But it's not all lost. I'm still going to experience them when I get there. Love you guys, and I'll definitely see you in another video. So be good, be kind, love each other, and stay safe. Bye.